Hello, fellow Forerunners. This is Aaron Havens. Glad to be joining you today. I would like to talk about don't do it. Don't do it. Well, don't do what, Aaron? Here it is. My grandpa gave me a great piece of advice a long time ago, and it's led me through so many aspects of life and has helped me. It's a great piece of knowledge, and here's what we don't do as leaders, okay? Don't assume responsibility that's not yours. Let me say that again. Don't assume responsibility that's not yours. And I'm not talking about a negative aspect of this. I'm talking about the positive aspect. How we as leaders can maintain the level that we're created to maintain. Here's an example. A couple years ago, 5 years ago or so, I was in charge of an event. And this event was for 5th and 6th graders. It started as a small event called 3 Second, where we had 50 5th and 6th graders coming once a month to this thing. 50 sounds like a lot of 5th and 6th graders. However, this event turned into over a year, year and a half, 2 years' time, turned into 1,100 5th and 6th graders coming to this one single event. Well, here's where I really got to learn and practice this don't assume responsibility that's not yours. You see, as this event grew, my leadership had to grow. And we started getting parents to volunteer and leaders to volunteer. And I remember as it went from 50 to 100 to 200, it was still something that I started and I wanted to do. But I soon realized that myself alone couldn't do this. And so I started delegating different leadership to different people. And I remember very specifically, this one time, we had minor security issues, and I was swooping in to be an eagle and save it and to make the call, and then I realized something. I can't be everywhere all the time. And so I had to delegate that power to people to start doing that, to train, to start learning, because I realized that I couldn't be everywhere, and the leaders that I had needed to have responsibility. You see, if I would have assumed the responsibility of those minor issues of security or whatever they may be, when the event was 1,100 people and we had a major security issue, if that ever happened, would my leaders know how to handle them, or would they look for me? You see, don't assume responsibility that's not yours. It was mine to oversee it, but it wasn't mine to micromanage and to do and to handle. You see, by not assuming responsibility that's not ours, well, that's a hard thing sometimes. We first off have to be confident in who we are, confident in the position that we've been given, confident knowing what's best overall for our organization and for the people that we work with. When we assume responsibility that's not ours, it creates major long-term effects. One of the major long-term effects is the problem of trust. You lose the trust of the people that you're working with, and you lose the trust of the people that you're leading. You see, when I swoop in and take your responsibility away from you, you're going to lose trust in me. Now, there's a difference between training and thresholding. And we'll explain that in a second. Training is worth our focus. As leaders, it's worth our focus. Now, thresholding is not worth our focus at all. So here you go. Dictionary.com, the word threshold says this: the point that must be exceeded to begin producing a given effect or result, or to elicit a response. You see, thresholding is the act of stopping people from growing or advancing. So as a leader, I have to ask myself, am I training or thresholding? Am I allowing this person to grow, to learn, to advance? Or am I stopping them like a dam would to water? Am I thresholding this person? Think about it. How did you learn? How did you get to where you're at? Did you make any mistakes along the way? Any at all? Probably. See, it doesn't matter what position that we're in. We could be a water boy, and I guarantee if you're a water boy, you've learned and developed ways to get the water into the bottles the best possible way. Or if you're a CEO, I guarantee you've learned the best way to lead your team. Learning and growing is how we've achieved the level that we're at right now. Often people learn lasting lessons by trial and error. As forerunners, our job is to always look ahead and to be okay with errors. Now, to lead people by the big problems, it'll cause big problems, but to lead and be okay with people when they have errors. You see, learning and growing will cost us something. It will always cost us something. And we have to be okay with that. Okay with that for ourselves and okay with that for people all around us. When we assume responsibility that's not ours, it creates a trust problem, first off, but it also sets up traps for us. Big traps. Traps that will hinder us, hinder our creativity, our outcome, our growth, our satisfaction, our advancement. It's going to hinder our joy. And we need to be fully in, and we need to fully operate in our areas. Not meddling in other people's areas of responsibility, but fully be in our areas. Have you ever found yourself in middle of office politics, a sticky situation, and wondered, okay, how did I get here? Do I really care about the kind of coffee being brewed? Or do I really care about the paint color in the lobby? Well, if that's your responsibility, yes, you really do. But oftentimes we find ourselves in situations where it's beyond our responsibility, but we're there because we're meddling in those areas. Now, traps. Wow. Traps pull us down. They suck us dry. Traps lead to our lack of passion. Traps are distracting and they derail progress. So when problems and conflicts and opportunities arise and they pop up, we need to ask ourselves, is this a trap? Is this mine to have passion about? Is this mine to stay up late at night thinking about? Is this mine to talk about? Is this mine to create a problem, a solution to solve? Ultimately, is this my responsibility? Here's a couple challenges for us today. 1, evaluate the last 20 or 30 emails or text messages that you've had this last week and ask yourself, should this be mine? Should this be mine? Maybe you need to get out of some of those conversations. Second challenge is this. Pull out your job description right now. Pull it out and rewrite it in your own words. What is it that you're supposed to be focusing on, fully in? And if you don't have one, then write one. Write a job description. A third is this, okay? This is great stuff. If you can think of somebody that can benefit from this video, from this link, pass it on to them. Pass on this video link, like it on our Facebook page, tweet about it, just pass the word on. Because as leaders, as forerunners, we are going to make the world a better place. Have a great day. Bye.